Welcome to Good Talks. Today on the third episode, we are here with the men of my people, Good Black Art's first debut exhibition here at New York City Culture Club in Oculus at the World Trade Center. We're here with Adrian Armstrong, Mario Joyce, and Tay Ham. It is such a pleasure to have all of you here today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. Tay, just to start with you, after spending a few years in Tampa, Florida, what did you learn and what are you bringing from that experience into your practice now that you're based back here in New York?
Well, as we know, especially like with the pandemic going on in those 2 years and things of that nature, I had a lot of time to myself, and I feel like it was much needed to have that time to myself. It allowed for me to perfect my craft a bit more and to really dive into myself and learn more about who I am, what I want, and what I want to do out of my life. And one of those things that I wanted to do was move to New York.
Amazing, amazing. And what's the one thing as a fine artist that you are ready to share with the world?
Honestly, the one thing I think as a fine artist that I'm ready to share with the world is just a different narrative. I feel like, the world likes to look at a certain narrative of Black individuals when we have such a range of different types of Black people. I feel like it's enough room for all of us to tell our story and to tell the cultures that have inspired us to create our art. So, my goal in my practice and, while I'm here in New York and on this earth is to shed light on those different narratives, those alternative type of Black people, the Black people with the tattoos, with the piercings, the queer folk, the outcasts, the outsiders. My focus is to, have us in spaces like this and to shed light on that, we are out here and that we also exist as well. And we're Black and we're just as proud.
Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for bringing all of yourself to Good Black Art, this space, this gallery, and this exhibition. We've talked about this a little bit, and I think your perspective and who you are is so unique, and it's needed, particularly in the fine arts world. So we're excited that you're back in New York. We're excited to have you here, and I think the world is ready for you.
Phil's the best, y'all. I love Phil. Phil's the best. He's honestly just has completely inspired me and motivated me to continue to share my narrative, and has also opened up doors for me to do so. So I want to say thank you, Phil.
That's what I'm here for. You're welcome.
I'm going to thank you every day.
Well, I appreciate you, and it's kind of moving along to Adrian, as we talk about uniqueness and narratives. There's so much that you're bringing to the art world, and specifically when it comes to your medium. I'm so fascinated to understand how you use ballpoint pen and how you use it so well and so uniquely. So tell us, how are you the master of this ballpoint pen, and how did you develop it?
Yeah. So the way that I came across using ballpoint pen is because honestly, I just didn't have the funds to get other materials. I couldn't afford oils, I couldn't afford acrylics, but I always had access to a pen. You could find a pen literally at a bank, at a store,
right.
Steal it from a neighbor or something.
Permanently borrow.
Permanently borrow.
We don't steal.
Yeah. So, I had access to it, and I didn't know where the trajectory of my career was going to go, but I knew that I always wanted to create. So I wanted to just become better at using this material. And over time, I just developed it. I was doing pointillism at first, and I wanted to move up in scale, and doing dots at that scale is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And I kind of just moved into that technique. It still has that round feel to it, but it's a lot quicker, and over time I just developed and kept pushing it more and more, adding the acrylics, adding the collage elements. And I just want to continue to progress in that. So. Yeah.
But it's so unique. I've never seen that type of technique in terms of the detail, the shading, and then of course as you add on all these different materials, it just morphs into this unbelievable expression of who you are and your community. So it's wonderful to see. There are 4 pieces in my people, and all of them are just so special, whether they're on paper or on canvas. I encourage everyone to come and check those out because they're very special, and you are the master at that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's wonderful, and really thank you for not only sharing your narrative with us, but also really diversifying what fine arts is. And this conversation about access is so important, and being resourceful. I think there's a lot of artists out there, whether they're young or old, who maybe don't have the funds to get the acrylic paint or the oil paint or the large canvases. So you can make art with whatever you have, and I think that's really unique to Black people in general. We are always looking, making lemonade with the lemons we have, right? And in the innovation and just being resourceful. So I think you are a testament to that. Please don't stop, ever. ever. And speaking of someone who never stops, Mario Joyce. Mario Joyce is always on the go, and always moving. What an incredible couple of years you've had. It's been amazing to watch from the sidelines, from New York to LA, and amazing collector base that just supports you on so many levels. Congratulations for all of that.
Thank you.
All of that. You're welcome. And we know you just had a amazing solo show, sold out in Atlanta with UTA Artist Space. Congratulations on that. I wasn't able to make it, but I've been dying to ask you this one question. When that show, the opening finished, and you were on the plane from Atlanta back to Los Angeles, what were you thinking? What was going through your brain at that moment?
Wow, I mean, honestly, it's hard to even think about because it was such an emotional plane ride back. And I was so exhausted, and I thought, I'm gonna get to sleep in. Yeah. I can't wait, to just lay my head against the window and just zone out like I'd been on for months, just creating that body of work. And I couldn't sleep. I was buzzing. It was just such a vibration going through my veins. And the reason is because as painters, we come up with this concept. I was really breaking down the American flag and the symbolism behind that and placing my ancestors within that flag. And so it's a lot of work and responsibility. So it took a lot out of me. But I mean, a city like Atlanta, I hadn't been but once before, and I didn't know how well that would be received. But the narrative really belonged there, and I felt like because my ancestors were enslaved, and that was kind of the root of that body of work, and I worked to me, and it felt like it belonged in the South. That story belonged in the South. And so I didn't know what to expect, and that opening was incredible. And Atlanta came out, and the support was real. And not only Atlanta, but New York, Los Angeles, everybody drove in, they flew in, and just to see themselves in the work and to celebrate how hard I'd worked. It was insane.
It was a beautiful body of work, and we've talked about this as well. I feel like that moment for you, for UTA, the amazing collector base that's in Atlanta, it felt like a big opening. Of course, Atlanta is just such a hot city right now for fine arts, particularly in the Black community.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much for being part of this. I am still blown away by the opening. I'm still blown away by looking around this room, and I can't wait to see what is next. A little birdie told me there's more filming happening, so I can't wait to see what else you 3 are cooking up.
Yeah, they're gonna be excited.
It's gonna be
good. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for tuning in to Good Talks. We look forward to seeing you soon.